Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk to you about something we've all experienced: disrespect. At some point, we've all faced moments where we felt dismissed, overlooked, or hurt by someone else's words or actions. But let me tell you, this disrespect is a test of your character, your strength, and your ability to rise above the negativity that may come your way. And how you choose to respond can define who you are. Acknowledge your emotions. When faced with disrespect, the first thing we must do is acknowledge our feelings. It's okay to feel angry, upset, or frustrated. Your emotions are valid, but don't let them control you. Instead of reacting immediately, take a moment to honor how you feel. Understand that your feelings are yours to process. You are allowed to feel, but you don't have to act from that place. Pause before reacting. In the heat of the moment, it's easy to react, especially when we feel disrespected. But let me remind you of something powerful. You have a choice. Before you respond, pause. Take a deep breath, center yourself, and then choose how you want to engage. That space between stimulus and response, that's where your power lies. Know your worth. You are worthy of respect, of love, and of kindness. If someone disrespects you, it says more about them than it says about you. Remind yourself that your value isn't tied to the opinions of others. When you understand your worth, you can hold your head high no matter how anyone tries to treat you. No one can take away what is inherently yours. Set boundaries. It's crucial to set boundaries when faced with disrespect. Boundaries are not walls, they are ways to protect your energy and protect your peace. Be firm in letting others know what behavior is unacceptable. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect, and people will either respect them or they won't. And that's okay. You are not responsible for how they react, you are only responsible for maintaining your own sense of dignity. Stay calm and composed. Now, I know that staying calm in the face of disrespect is not always easy, but your peace, your joy, and your serenity are far too precious to let someone else's negativity steal them. In those moments when you feel your heart racing, when you feel your blood boiling, take a deep breath. Remember, your calmness is your power. No one can take that from you unless you give it away. Respond with kindness, not anger. It's easy to fire back when someone insults or disrespects you, but responding with anger only fuels the fire. Instead, consider this: what if you responded with kindness? Kindness has a way of disarming people, of transforming even the most toxic situations. By choosing compassion over confrontation, you rise above the negativity and show the world the true strength that lies within you. Don't take it personally. It's easy to internalize disrespect, but let's remember it's not about you. Disrespect is a reflection of the person who is acting out. It comes from their own fears, insecurities, and wounds. What they say or do is not a reflection of your truth. When you can let go of personalizing their actions, you free yourself from carrying the weight of their hurt. Choose your battles wisely. Not everything deserves a response. Some disrespectful comments, they're just noise. And you don't have to engage with noise. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is walk away, keep your peace, and move on. You don't need to fight every battle. Choose the ones that matter, the ones where your energy can make a difference. So, my friends, the next time you face disrespect, remember you are in control of your response. You don't have to let negativity define you. You don't have to lower your standards to meet someone else's bad behavior. Hold your head high, keep your heart open, and always, always choose peace. Because at the end of the day, you are worthy of the respect you give yourself and the respect you demand from others. Let that be your truth. Thank you. When someone disrespects you, it's easy to feel that rush of emotions: anger, hurt, confusion. Those feelings are valid, they're real. And the first step in handling disrespect is to simply acknowledge them. You don't need to suppress them, ignore them, or pretend that everything is okay when it's not. I want you to understand that it's not only okay to feel, it's necessary. Your emotions are part of your human experience, and when you're confronted with disrespect, your heart may feel it deeply. That's natural. You're not weak for feeling hurt, and you're not wrong for being upset. In fact, those emotions are a sign that you care about your own dignity, that you value respect. That's powerful. But here's the key: acknowledge those emotions without letting them control you. Too often, we react impulsively when we're hurt. We lash out, we speak from a place of pain, which can lead to regret later. I want to challenge you to take a moment, just a moment, to sit with what you're feeling. Don't rush to react. Don't jump into defense mode. Let yourself feel what you need to feel. This is your opportunity to process what's happening in real time, to honor your emotions, but not let them dictate the course of your actions. When you acknowledge your emotions, you create space between feeling and reacting. That space is where your power lives. It's where you can choose to respond with wisdom, with grace, or with strength. You can pause, breathe, and say to yourself, I am allowed to feel this way, but this feeling does not define me. I will not let this moment of disrespect change who I am or the way I see myself. By acknowledging your emotions, you give yourself permission to heal, to rise above, and to make the conscious choice to handle the situation with the integrity you deserve. In those moments when someone disrespects you, your first instinct might be to react. Your mind races, your heart pounds, and your words are on the tip of your tongue, ready to fire back. And let me tell you, I understand that instinct, it's natural. But the true power lies in what happens next. What if, instead of reacting immediately, you took a deep breath and paused? That brief moment of silence, just a few seconds, even can change everything. It allows you to step outside of your emotions and to gain clarity before you say something you might regret. Think about it: when you react out of anger, frustration, or hurt, you're letting the situation control you. You're giving someone else's behavior the power to determine how you show up in the world. But if you choose to pause just for a moment, you take back that power. In that pause, you have the ability to choose your response. You have the space to decide whether this situation is worth engaging with at all. You can choose to stay calm and composed, to address the issue with dignity, or even to walk away entirely. That pause isn't just about holding your tongue, it's about holding onto your peace, your strength, and your sense of self. Imagine what could happen if, in those challenging moments, you allowed yourself the grace to think before you speak. Imagine how different your life would be if you made it a habit to respond with intentionality instead of reacting impulsively. You would take control of your narrative, you would protect your energy, and you would show up as the best version of yourself, even in the most difficult circumstances. So the next time disrespect comes your way, pause. It's not weakness, it's wisdom. And in that pause, you reclaim your power, your peace, and your ability to show the world who you truly are. There's something incredibly powerful about truly knowing your worth. When you understand the value you bring to the world, nothing, no amount of disrespect, no hurtful words, no dismissive actions can ever shake your sense of self. You see, when someone disrespects you, it's not a reflection of who you are, it's a reflection of their own issues, their own limitations, and their inability to see your brilliance. And that, my friends, is where the power lies. I want you to really understand this: you don't have to earn respect. You are already worthy of it simply because you exist. Your worth is not defined by the opinions of others. It doesn't fluctuate based on someone's judgment or how they choose to treat you. It is inherent in your very being, unshakable and constant no matter what. When you know your worth, you stand in the truth of who you are without apology and without compromise. Knowing your worth means you don't allow someone else's disrespect to diminish your light. You don't internalize their negativity. Instead, you stand firm in the knowledge that you deserve kindness, respect, and love, not because of anything you've done, but because of who you are. It means that when someone tries to tear you down or belittle you, don't meet them at that low level. You rise above because you know you are better than that. You don't allow their inability to recognize your value to shake your confidence or make you question your place in the world. Your worth doesn't depend on being perfect or meeting someone else's standards. It's about embracing the fullness of who you are, the strengths, the flaws, the triumphs, and the mistakes. When you truly know your worth, you stop seeking validation from others because you realize you are already enough, exactly as you are. And no one, absolutely no one, can take that away from you. So the next time someone disrespects you, I want you to remember this: their behavior does not define you. You are worthy of all the respect, love, and honor this world has to offer, and no disrespectful moment can ever change that. When you stand tall in the knowledge of your worth, nothing can diminish your shine, and nothing can stop you from stepping into the greatness that is already yours. Setting boundaries is one of the most powerful acts of self-respect you can ever engage in. Too often, we tolerate behavior that disrespects us because we don't want to cause conflict or because we fear that setting boundaries will push others away. But here's the truth: boundaries are not walls. They are protective barriers that safeguard your energy, your peace, and your sense of self. They're not about shutting people out, they're about making sure that the people you allow and honor you and treat you with the respect you deserve. When you set boundaries, you're communicating that your time, your space, and your emotional energy are precious. You are teaching others how to treat you, how to show up in your life. And here's the most important part: boundaries don't require explanation or apology. You don't owe anyone an explanation for why you need to protect your peace. You don't have to justify your worthiness for respect. Just as you would protect a valuable possession, you must protect your heart and mind from being violated by disrespect. Sometimes the hardest part about setting boundaries is the fear of how others will react. We worry they might not understand or that we'll lose relationships. But I want you to remember that those who truly respect and care for you will honor your boundaries. They will see them as a reflection of your strength and your self-respect, not as an obstacle to their desires. Those who don't respect your boundaries, well, they were never the ones you should have been investing your energy in anyway. Setting boundaries means saying no when something doesn't align with your values or your well-being, even when it's uncomfortable. It's about knowing that your time, your emotional health, and your peace are non-negotiable. It's about being unapologetically clear on what you will tolerate and what you will not. And I promise you, once you start setting those boundaries, the people around you will either adapt or they will fall away. And that's okay, because those who remain will be the ones who truly understand your worth and will respect the space you've created for yourself. The beauty of boundaries is that they empower you to take control of your life and your energy. You are no longer at the mercy of someone else's behavior or expectations. You are in charge of your own experience. When you make the choice to set boundaries, you are telling the world, this is who I am. This is how I expect to be treated. And I will not settle for less than what I deserve. In the face of disrespect, it's easy to lose our cool, to let the frustration bubble up inside of us until it overflows in anger. And while those emotions are natural, there is incredible power in choosing to stay calm and composed. Staying calm in the face of disrespect doesn't mean that you're weak, that you're tolerating poor treatment, or that you're letting people walk all over you. No, it means you are choosing to rise above the situation. It means you are refusing to let anyone's negativity steal your peace or control your emotions. When you stay calm, you are in control. You are not reacting impulsively or driven by the heat of the moment. Instead, you are choosing how you respond, and that gives you an undeniable strength. The moment someone disrespects you is their moment, not yours. And the best way to protect your peace and your sense of self is by refusing to let their words or actions dictate how you feel or how you behave. Your emotional energy is sacred. Don't give it away to anyone who doesn't deserve it. This calmness allows you to stay grounded and make decisions that align with your values rather than reacting out of emotion. When you respond with composure, it's a reflection of your inner strength, your emotional intelligence, and your ability to navigate through life with grace. You don't need to raise your voice to be heard. You don't need to lash out to make your point. Calmness is its own form of power. It commands respect and it demands that others acknowledge your strength without needing to prove it. I know it's not always easy. In the heat of the moment, our feelings surge. We want to say something sharp to defend ourselves, to make sure the other person knows that they've crossed the line. But remember this, in those moments, you have a choice. You can choose to react, and you can choose to respond. Responding with composure does not make you a doormat. It makes you someone who has the emotional maturity and wisdom to handle difficult situations with dignity. And that is a form of power that no one can take away from you. The more you practice staying calm in these situations, the more natural it becomes. You begin to realize that no one can shake your foundation unless you allow them to. You begin to understand that you can handle disrespect without it taking you out of your flow. And when you hold that calm energy, you set an example for others. You teach people how to treat you not by what you say, but by how you respond. You show them that you can stand firm without losing your composure, and that is one of the most beautiful demonstrations of self-respect and inner strength. In the face of disrespect, there's a powerful choice you can make to stay calm and composed. I know it's not always easy. When someone disrespects you, when they cut you down, belittle you, or dismiss your worth, the instinct is to react, to defend, to fight back. It's human nature, but the strength, the true power, lies in how you respond. When you can remain calm in those moments, you take back the control. You take control of your emotions, your reactions, and your dignity. Staying calm doesn't mean you're ignoring the situation or tolerating bad behavior. No, it means that you are choosing to rise above it. It means that no matter how disrespectful someone is, you are not going to let them drag you into their storm. You are not going to lose your sense of self or let their negativity overpower you. You're not going to hand over your peace so easily. You understand that you have the power to decide how you show up in the world, and you choose to show up with grace, with poise, and with integrity. When you respond with calmness, you don't let the situation dictate your emotional state. Instead of giving into anger or frustration, you take a breath, center yourself, and find your calm within. You realize that staying composed is not about suppressing your feelings, it's about honoring your feelings while not letting them control you. It's about choosing to respond from a place of clarity and strength, not impulsiveness or reaction. And that is power. The truth is, when you stay calm, you become a force that cannot be easily shaken. When you are composed, you exude an inner confidence that others notice. You show that you are unbothered by the chaos around you because your peace is non-negotiable. You teach others how to treat you not through what you say, but through how you carry yourself in those difficult moments. And here's the beauty of staying calm. It doesn't just serve you in the moment of disrespect, it serves you in every aspect of your life. When you are able to remain composed, you create space for clear thinking, for making decisions that align with your values. You avoid reacting in ways that you'll later regret. You handle challenges with wisdom and grace, and that is something no one can take from you. The next time you face disrespect, remember your calm is your power. Don't let anyone or anything take it away from you. When you're disrespected, it's so tempting to respond with anger, isn't it? It's a natural instinct to defend yourself, to retaliate, to show the other person that they can't just treat you however they want. But here's the secret: responding with kindness, not anger, is where true power lies. It's not weakness, it's strength. Think about it: when you respond with anger, you're allowing the other person to control your emotions. You're letting their disrespect define how you feel, how you act. But when you choose kindness, you take the power back. You stay grounded in your own sense of self, and you refuse to let anyone's negative energy disrupt your peace. Responding with kindness doesn't mean that you're accepting their behavior. It means that you are choosing to rise above it. Kindness is transformative. It disarms the situation, diffuses tension, and forces the other person to pause. When you respond with empathy and grace, it often leaves the other person speechless, because kindness is not the reaction they expect. It has a power to soften the sharp edges of conflict and bring healing to even the most challenging moments. But beyond the other person, kindness also heals you. It prevents you from carrying the burden of anger, resentment, or bitterness. It keeps your heart light, your mind clear, and your energy focused on the things that truly matter. Now, I know it's not always easy. In the heat of the moment, when someone's words or actions have hurt you, it's hard to feel anything but frustration. But responding with kindness doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you're letting people walk all over you. It simply means that you value your peace and your integrity more than you value being right in that moment. You understand that the other person's disrespect is a reflection of their own pain, their own insecurities, or their own issues. It's not about you. And by responding with kindness, you show that their hurtful behavior cannot shake your foundation. You may not always change the other person's behavior, but what you will do is change your own experience. When you choose kindness, you refuse to let their negativity become your reality. You protect your own spirit, your own joy, and your own dignity. In that moment, kindness is your armor, and with it, you rise above the disrespect. When someone disrespects you, it can feel deeply personal. It can feel like an attack on who you are, your character, and your worth. And while that response is natural, I want you to understand something that will completely shift the way you handle disrespect. It's not about you. It's about them. Every time someone disrespects you, it's not a reflection of your value, your intelligence, or your strength. It's a reflection of where they are in life, what they are going through, or what they are struggling to understand. It's hard to remember in those moments of hurt, but when people lash out, when they belittle you or treat you poorly, it's often because they're carrying their own burdens. Maybe they are insecure, maybe they are hurting, or maybe they just don't know how to express themselves in a healthy way. Whatever the reason, their behavior is rooted in their own inner turmoil, not your worth. So here's the key: don't take it personally. The moment you begin to internalize their disrespect, you hand over your power. You begin to question your own worth, your value, and your place in the world based on someone else's limited perspective. But let me remind you, you define who you are, not anyone else. You don't need anyone's validation to know your worth. When you stop taking it personally, you free yourself from the weight of someone else's behavior. You stop letting their negativity rent space in your mind, and you refuse to let their words or actions shake your confidence or your peace. Instead, you understand that what they say or do is about their own struggles, their own perspective, and it has nothing to do with you. You are not defined by their disrespect. This shift in perspective allows you to move through the world with grace and strength. It allows you to stand tall in your own truth without being swayed by the opinions or actions of others. You are unwavering in your self-belief, and no one, no matter how disrespectful they are, can change that. So the next time someone disrespects you, remember, it's not about you. You don't need to carry their negativity, their disrespect, or their insecurities. Let it go and stand firm in the truth of who you are. Because no one has the power to define you unless you allow them to. When someone disrespects you, it's easy to take it to heart. It's natural to feel hurt, confused, or even angry. We tend to internalize the actions or words of others, thinking that somehow it reflects on us, our worth, or our value as people. But I want to share with you one of the most liberating truths. It's not about you. When someone disrespects you, it often says more about them than it does about you. It reflects their struggles, their insecurities, and their perspective on the world. It's a projection of their own inner turmoil, and it's not a reflection of who you are. You see, when people lash out or act in ways that are hurtful, it's not because you deserve it. It's because they may be dealing with their own pain, frustration, or emotional baggage. Maybe they are struggling with their own sense of self-worth, or maybe they just don't know how to express themselves in a healthy, respectful way. Whatever the reason, their disrespect is a reflection of them, not you. What happens when you take it personally, though, is that you start to carry their negativity with you. You begin to question your own value, to doubt your own worth, and to let their actions define how you feel about yourself. But let me tell you, when you take someone else's behavior personally, you give them power over your peace and your sense of self. You let their words or actions control your emotions, and that is a choice you don't have to make. Instead, when you choose not to take it personally, you free yourself. You understand that someone else's disrespect is not a reflection of your shortcomings, but a reflection of what they are going through. You don't have to absorb their pain or their negativity. You don't need to let their opinion of you become your reality. What someone else thinks or says about you has nothing to do with who you are or the incredible value you bring to this world. It's important to remember that you are the one who defines who you are. Your worth, your dignity, your value, these things are yours to determine, and they are not dependent on someone else's words or actions. When you let go of taking disrespect personally, you take back control of your emotional well-being. You protect your peace, your confidence, and your sense of self. You can still stand strong and move forward, knowing that you are not defined by the fleeting words or actions of others. You are defined by the strength of your character, the love you have for yourself, and the incredible way you show up in the world. So the next time you are confronted with disrespect, remember it's not about you, it's about them, and you have the power to let it go, to rise above it, and to keep walking in your truth, unshaken and unapologetically confident in who you are. In life, you'll face moments when you feel compelled to stand your ground, to make a point, to correct someone, or to defend yourself. It's natural. But not every moment is worth fighting for. Not every battle is worth your time, your energy, or your peace. Learning to choose your battles wisely is one of the most empowering decisions you can make.